Rage on a Friday.
It's like Ruben music.
Yeah. That's a good new category for music on the show is Ruben's music.
Yeah, well, that dude's got a lot of likes, though, so I don't know. Because, I mean, the dude also likes Gojira.
I think the list of shit he doesn't like is probably a lot smaller. Used to hate Slayer because he thought they were too negative.
I still do, only because of Kerry King, because he's an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, Slayer's not what you would call negative, but he didn't like them for years because they were just far too negative for him.
I did.
In his older years, they finally came around.
Yeah.
That good old Slayer band.
I kind of get it. I see. My problem is I kind of like individual musicians, and some bands that I don't necessarily care for the full band and some of the stuff they do.
Yeah.
But I do like individual musicians. Man, I've never been a big, Megadeth guy. You know, I mean, you get around like Dave and some of the other dudes in that band's like, oh, I like that guy.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's all right. You know,
Dave Ellefson, the bass player, is fucking top notch.
That guy is probably one of the best metal bass players that's not named Robert Trujillo.
Well, not a lot of solo projects from like heavy metal bands, bass players have done well. Jason Newsted went in debt for his project. Toured in Lubbock, hit up a lot of places, made no money, actually cost him money to do that tour. That's why he just disappeared.
Yeah, Lubbock's not a good measuring stick, though, because Madonna's bass player,
the guitar player, Monty Pittman,
Monty Pittman made a big push, trying to really, really endear himself to the metal community.
First album kind of pulled that off. That debut album, I was listening to about 3 songs on it.
Right.
Made a
Before
Guitar
the
Hero
Morning
track
Sun
for one.
is actually a great track. But, man, I understand after that, though, the guy kind of turned a little needy, I guess, is the right way to put it.
Got that Metal Blade record deal. Then put out that second album, and that was kind of like, ew. So is this the music you wanted to make, but you knew you had to make that last album to get your foot in the door?
Yeah, man. It went over like a fart in a funeral.
Yeah, he did a residency in Red River for 3 days.
Red River, New Mexico?
I heavily considered going down there.
Just jamming, I guess.
Playing at some heavily wooded bar.
Yeah, well, that's
for like 3 days.
They've got like 2 of them up there, right? One of them, the Bull of the Woods, and Texas Pete's.
Drink at the Balls of the Woods.
Or Texas Reds. The Bull.
Oh, the Bull.
Yeah, it's got like a...
Never mind.
It's got like a big outline of an elk, you know.
That's fancy. They're like at Tchotchkes down there?
Nah.
A Dave and Buster's?
And you talk about, if you think Ruidoso is like a tourist trap, Red River, like, that's all that place is.
Yeah, at least Ruidoso has a racetrack.
No. Yeah. At least they got people that want to live up there in the mountains and the trees and work 5 jobs and, in order to be able to survive by.
I bet that town is kind of drying up these days because of the trying times.
These trying times we're in.
There you go.
All right. Are we still playing the drinking game?
I don't know. It's so ingrained now that I just do it.
Right. Well, somebody we always talk about, like, not every podcast, but at least every 2 or 3. And I was talking about when we started talking about, like, favorite bartenders and everything else. And I've talked about Krista a lot.
Nauseating levels.
Yeah. And I guess, lo and behold, guess who we got on the show with us this time round on a Friday? It is the very own Krista.
Hey, Krista.
Hi.
How's it going?
And I'm never able to get you on because you're, like, bartending on Fridays.
Usually.
Yeah. And it's like, well, she ain't going to be able to be on this unless we do it on a Thursday or a Saturday or, And
but now bars are the devil.
Yeah.
Exactly. Only hoes go to bars.
Bars and camping. Down. Because the COVID-19 breaks out at night. Sneaks up on you and chokes you.
Out in the middle of nowheres.
Yep. You got nothing. Well, I don't know. And then somebody tried to explain it to me. It's like, well, it's because the porta potties they've got out there, nobody is sanitizing. It's like, who's using a porta potty going camping?
It's a weird concept to me. It's like, you're not supposed to have the creature comforts of the realm.
Right.
You're roughing it.
That's why I do tent camping, because that's the right way to do it. It's like, I mean, what the fuck are you doing? Like, if you have a motorhome, you pull up out there. Oh, yeah, that's what I forgot. I forgot to bring my house.
Oh, here, let's all go inside, watch a movie, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Let's just do the same shit we do back home, just out underneath some trees. burn some gasoline, and have to worry about where to dump this black tank.
Ooh, yes. Ye old traveling cesspool.
Which really, I mean, Melrose is a good spot for that, right? Just a ditch.
That's how it was built, wasn't it? Wasn't it sculpted from the feces of travelers passing through?
Sculpted, you know.
Oh, yeah. People
Leveled.
of Melrose, come at me, bro.
Yeah, all three of you.
Yeah, both of you.
And your dogs. Oh, I'm sorry, your wives.
Ooh, goddamn.
Ooh, coming in hot
We're
today.
talking shit a little low. They don't have internet access down there, so it doesn't matter.
That's true. Yeah. But they do have, scarabs and, the little beaded number systems. And because you
I don't know why we're
can't go
slamming
counting toes and come out to 12 every time out there.
They did have a tire shop that had the best green chili fries in town
That shit's back, though, right?
after it burned down.
Yeah, they rebuilt and
Oh, they
started-
did?
Yeah.
All right, never mind. Melrose is cool again.
There you go. All right, in the good graces.
Y'all
of
all right.
Yeah.
Y'all all right.
Yeah.
And that's the town I have to traverse through when it's like 2 a.m. and I may have had a Chardonnay or two and I want to
2
go to
a.m..
Santa Rosa and Carl's Jr. get me a burger.
Oh, okay. Well, like, what the hell would ever possess you to go through Melrose at 2 a.m.? But all right.
To go to Santa Rosa to get a burger.
Because nobody
Oh,
else.
come on. Have you never Chris is looking at me like I broke a law. Have you ever, for something you really wanted, traveled that far just for something that simple?
90 miles.
3
at
hours.
2 a.m.
3 hours.
You've clearly never had a Western burger before.
I mean,
made
it's good,
especially
but,
made at that hour.
I mean, maybe.
They're made with extra care at that hour.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. I bet you Carl's Jr. is busier. The Santa Rosa one's busier at night than it is during the day.
That's probably true.
Because they got to cater to truckers to keep the lights on that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or weirdos like me.
Well, the downside is because the only time I ever go through there is if I got to go to what's that shithole up there, Albuquerque.
Oh, yes.
And
I don't think they have a Carl's Jr.
no, they do not. They got Blake's. You know. I mean,
Oh, a lot of burger? Fuck that.
yeah. Well, Blake's holds like a piece of nostalgia for me. That's all. I will tell people every time. It's like, no, I want you to know this is not good, but I kind of look forward to it. Nostalgia.
God damn. Yeah, Whataburger is not a place you would eat every week if it was available to you.
I used to, but they had one in Bayard. When
I don't think
growing
you
up.
could now.
Now,
And feel good about yourself?
I've got an adult palate now. No, I wouldn't be able to pull that
Yeah,
off.
you've cooked too much shit now to go back to like Whataburger being a staple of your diet.
Yeah. See, and Whataburger is the same. In Texas, they got Whataburger. In this state, they got Lottaburger. They're very different chains, but they still do fucking, fries and burgers.
Late night grease grub.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it's the same thing. I will tell people Whataburger, not good, but it's just, it rings a little chord of, like, remembering my childhood, when I was growing up in El Paso. They'd built a Whataburger. We'd get, I think in high school, we'd get like 45 minutes for lunch. It was a round trip drive of about 30 minutes. So you can imagine with the rapidity I was putting away, just jamming it right in my face hole.
Whilst returning back to your realm to get some learning done.
Oh, no. I'd have to go and sit down.
I was going to say, that is not a food you can eat and drive. That might be considered drinking and driving.
Yeah.
Just how slovenly you feel after that first bite.
Yeah, well, yeah, and you could make a mess depending on what you order. Which, I don't know that I've ever brought up this disturbing story on this show before.
Ooh. All right.
Has nothing to do with hamburgers necessarily, but it does have to do with chains.
Let's say, what food chain are you going to be ruining today?
When I was stationed out in California, everywhere, you can't sling a cat out in Southern California without hitting a place called Alberto's or Roberto's or whatever. But what they are, they're basically burrito shops, but they're really good burrito shops. I mean, perfect drunk food. These things are like the size of like my forearm. They're huge. They're huge. These burritos are enormous.
Aren't burritos supposed to be like travel safe, though,
Well, so here's what happened one night. There was a place out there. It was called Ron's Red Eye Saloon. They were closed from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. because I think that's what the state of California
4 hours
required.
of disinfect.
Yeah. But you'd get a full 20 hours of Ron's, which I did do that marathon one time.
Wow.
Yeah. That was...
I can only get that type of drinking done in Vegas. I can't do that anywhere else. I'll end up dead. I will die.
But now the long story short of it is because, Ron's was about 3 blocks from where my apartment was at. Well, 3 blocks from Ron's is an Alberto's. I thought, wow. Well, figuring out that Ron's is basically a hypotenuse, went ahead and began my little trek down to Alberto's. where I promptly then ordered like 2 carne asada burritos, these huge motherfuckers. Now, they're carne asada burritos. Carne asada is, it is what it is. I mean, skirt steak, been marinated, and, but it's fucking awesome because they pack it full of guacamole and sour cream.
Damn.
And cheddar. I mean, crazy amounts.
Shit.
Now, these are things you don't want to eat and drive. I'm telling you right now. And so, therefore, my idea was I'm just going to go wander on back to the apartment, throw back another couple of beers, put away one of these burritos, and have the other one for the morning for breakfast. Which,
See, that's forward thinking right there.
yeah. So I get in, and I was all excited because my mother had came out and visited me and my nephew Greg, who was serving at the same time. And she'd bought us a 12-inch color TV, which that was the shit. Like, hey! Well, and my vision was fantastic back in those days. A 12-inch TV was getting it done.
Pretty sharp.
But so long story short, I sit down in the dark watching TV, throwing down on this burrito. Like it's nobody's business. Get that one put away, and I immediately just pass out. I wake up in the early dawn light as it starts coming in my east window in my apartment there. And I look down, and the first thing I think is, oh, I threw up all over myself.
God damn.
Yeah, no, because it was just like all over me from like mid-chest, like solar plexus, all the way to crotch.
This burrito, as soon as you were out, your body's like, all right, boys, let's get this stuff fuck out of here right now.
No. If that were the case, that would be bad. It took me probably about 10 minutes of trying to get my shit together to figure out, oh, that was because I had a blowout in the bottom of that burrito and just kind of sent it like just a velocity like all over.
That is true. Burrito innards kind of already look like barf.
And if it's full of guacamole and sour cream. So there's your,
shit.
So there you go. So enjoy your next carne asada burrito, people. I felt a lot better about myself once I realized that's what that shit was.
That was like me and the blood puke scare. When I got really drunk and I was just drinking like vodka and water and a whole bunch of Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Oh, God. 3 hours later, I had to go fucking up Chuck and went, and it was just nothing but red death. And I thought I was dying. I thought, oh, this is it. I've pushed the limit with Cheetos and fucking vodka and water. I was trying to be healthy. It took me a half hour before, as I was plotting out who got what of my shit. Oh, no, that was just the remnants of the Cheetos because I feel like I'm about to have an acid reflux attack here.
You and those goddamn fiery Cheetos. Man.
Hey, I got to enjoy that shit while I can,
Hell
dude.
Yeah. Got any
Tried
weird
the popcorn?
No.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos popcorn,
you will.
son.
You will shortly.
Okay. I'm excited about that.
So you got any weird like faux vomiting stories?
No, I have real vomiting
Oh,
stories,
I
but we
don't
don't
know.
want to talk about that.
Might cross the line.
I'm totally all right with that.
No faux.
If you guys want
stories.
real vomit stories,
Yeah,
I got a few as well.
Yep, it's all real over here.
Because I'm like a vomiting coach.
Right. So, Chris, the first time we've had you on the show, best cereal of all time.
Oh no, honeycomb comes to mind. I don't know why. I like Kix.
The right answer is Cocoa Pebbles. So
We'd
We'd appreciate
Pebbles,
it. We'd appreciate
okay.
it if you left right.
I like Cocoa Puffs. Does that count?
That's kind of a cheap knockoff, but we'll allow it.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, it's not that it's a cheap knockoff. It's the delivery is completely different.
See, I like poofy. I don't like the crunchy.
Yeah, I like things to be almost like tiny miniature scales.
Okay.
Okay, and then favorite Saturday morning cartoon.
As a kid, I mean, it really was like Bugs Bunny and like Looney Tunes stuff. But actually, I don't know.
For me, it depends on how drunk I am.
Right.
Yeah, He-Man and Masters of the Universe is the jam.
Well, and I was gonna say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know.
yeah.
There's.
That's
I don't
my
know.
jam.
There was this Sharks show that was really popular in the
Oh, yeah.
90s that I remember.
I know which one
I
you're
really
talking
like
about.
that one. I don't know. There's a lot.
There you go. So, Krista, are we allowed to actually say kind of what your field of study is, sort of?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
She's a biochemist, which,
Yay.
believe it or not,
Does that mean she studies farts?
That's
maybe,
not my
maybe.
interest, but you actually could study farts if you wanted to.
I've always had questions about.
she would be the one
flashes.
person I would say, so can you get the coronavirus from, huffing somebody's farts?
No, you cannot.
Going down on someone's muffler.
As far as I know, no. COVID is not a sexually transmitted infection.
Well, no, farts are not sexual.
Unless you're a weirdo.
Unless you're a weirdo. If you can get that shit from toilet spray when you flush, which I guess is the new fear,
right?
Then why the fuck can't you toot it out and fucking infect an entire room of people? Laughing the whole time while you're doing it. Knowing they're like, they're really having a bad time now. And then you wake up and read the paper and 7 people drop dead at the local farmer's market. And you know you were there.
Yep.
But you didn't die.
So this has got to be fun times for somebody in your field. Well,
it's just they're so little known and everything is evolving. Literally every day new research is being released. So it's very interesting to watch science play out in a political climate.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing, too.
Yes, absolutely.
Everything is politicized.
Yes.
Everything.
Absolutely. Every little bit.
And, I mean, to a maddening degree. They're politicizing the NFL now, which has already had its own shit, to deal with that.
Like, didn't we already go through that?
Yeah, but now, so I don't personally like the guy just because the fact is that he seems like the guy is just trying to ruin everybody's fun. But that Dr. Anthony Fauci is that his name?
Fauci.
Because he came out today saying, the NFL should go ahead and cancel their season. I was like, whoa. There are other things that are moving forward, sir. But and then of course then naturally the goddamn president has to come out and go, he doesn't know anything about the NFL. You're all driving me crazy
about the NFL more than I do.
Oh gosh.
Man. So I don't know. He just seems like the guy that's there to steal your joy. And he might be right, but I still view it as that,
Hey, someone's got to make those millions.
And you see, now here's the thing, is because people that don't like the president like him because, when they do these press conferences and shit, every time that old Cheeto would fucking whip something out, he'd be back there rolling his eyes. So if you don't like Trump, you'd be like, oh, this guy's great.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's the only reason you're giving this guy any props at all.
Exactly.
It's because he was rolling his eyes.
Exactly. It's all political.
And if you like the president, you're fucking obviously you think this guy's an asshole. Everything is political now. Everything. Fucking, look at it. Rage Against the Machine is making a huge comeback right now.
And you'd think System of a Down would be as well.
Yeah, I actually am kind of. But
they're busy fighting.
Yeah.
The drummer is apparently a staunch Trump supporter.
Wow.
What? Are you serious?
Yep.
Wow.
So's Flava Flav. What kind of world is this?
Serge, the lead singer, is like, here's some lyrics from a song from '96 that we put out back when we were trying to get signed. If you're a fan of this song and a Trump supporter, then you're a fucking idiot, basically.
Wow.
And then the drummer, John, pops like, I think it might have been misinterpreted. It was such a Republican fucking thing. It was misinterpreted, bro.
Yeah.
It was 3 sentences. Here's a song from '96. We were trying to get signed when we put this out. If you know the lyrics of this, are a fan of it, and a Trump supporter, you're an idiot. Not an idiot, a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's a little different.
Yes.
See, I can be bought. They crank me out another $1,200 check. I'll be a fan of 45 for a solid week.
Dude, that guy has bought me so much beer and marijuana from a weed store.
Good on you, Donald J. Trump.
Donald Trump designated medicinal marijuana as an essential business. Can't we just make it legal now?
Yeah.
It's that easy. It's essential.
Yeah.
Bars ain't.
Well, as much as I'm pissed about how things are going on in this state, we've still only got 54 cases, I think, in this fucking entire county. I don't want to say they're doing it right, but damn it, you compare us to Florida or Arizona or Texas.
Our neighboring bros.
Yay.
Man, I mean, they are seeing severe spikes. Matter of fact, a bunch of shit in Texas already getting canceled already. They have this big music festival they do in Littlefield every year. And they announced this morning that shit's done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
Yeah. And not even actually, they kind of just blew the governor out of the whole thing. CDC came out with that recommendation directly to the organizers. And they said, okay. And they went ahead and canceled. And then Greg Abbott's all bent out of shape.
Right.
It's like, dude.
But I said you could.
Now, that's the whole thing. And you're saying it's always evolving. Is this something that, like, because you hear about that some people are like, wow, that's weird. I got it, got better, didn't even know I had it.
Right.
And, yeah, I guess if you're really healthy, great. But, man, if you're fucking at all at risk, that's a death sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It absolutely can be.
It almost sounds Darwinian.
It really is. Man, this stuff is so hard. And they say it doesn't necessarily, you can be healthy and die from it too. So there's a lot of things that are unprecedented about this particular disease. It's very brilliant. It's very, it's a strong pathogen.
Well, we heard like Budweiser staves it off. So Brandon and I have been inoculating, pretty steadily.
There's this old guy who claims that if you sterilize from the inside, you live a long time. So
yeah, with rat poison. Try that.
I just downed some mothballs and feel better about myself.
Shit. All right, well, Mead Metal MMA podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Juneteenth, matter of fact. Gotten a bunch of word dueling with racists today.
This is the day that Donald Trump made famous, right?
Yeah, right.
I didn't know about this day until he started talking shit about it.
I got to tell you, man, it's maddening. I wouldn't have gotten online today at all, not one time, except to put up my fucking surf video shit that I do. But I wouldn't have got on one time if I'd have known the kind of nonsense I was going to encounter. I mean, overt racism, not even like disguised microaggression nonsense. No, this is flat out like, what do they get a day? I'm like, what are you saying? What do you mean they get a day? What the fuck?
It's like, you know what it's like? It's like going to that fucking birthday party for one of your friends that has like a younger brother. Like say it's their 10th birthday party, younger brother, it's like 5 or 6.
Right.
And for every present the older brother gets, younger brother has to get one too, or else he's going to throw a fucking fit.
Right.
So everybody just wants it their own day. I figured there's like every day is a day. It's like a donut day.
Right.
There's a half slice pizza day.
I guess the one thing I can't get my head around, and I don't see it from my Hispanic brethren. I don't see it from Asians. I don't see it from anybody except for white people. It's like, well, how come they're getting all this attention? It's like, just, motherfucker, let it rest. Do you. Just do you. Hang out, because all the rest of the days are yours.
Exactly.
I mean, we have our own holiday here that we're celebrating at the Mead Hall.
Called Friday.
It's called AC Fuckery Day. It's a yearly event that we get to go through here, and I'll let Kevin tell you all about that.
Yeah, you might hear kind of the sound of a fan in the background. There's a good reason for that because, it's summertime, and frankly, I think my house is built on a weird sacred Indian burial ground because my shit goes out every year. Doesn't matter what. You might say, wait a minute. I listened to your guys' bullshit last year in July. You got a new AC unit. I remember you saying you're like $6,000 in. Yeah, well, guess what? That thing is dead, so I got to order another one. So it's going to be a solid week and a half, 2 weeks maybe.
That's the most ridiculous thing.
Every year,
I don't know,
every
man.
summer since 2016, every summer, I've had an issue. This dude that works for the one of the HVAC places here in town. Every year, I see that guy every year. He's like, "Man, what's going on, Trey?" He's like, "Yeah, I guess it's summer again, isn't it?"
What's the problem this year?
Yep. Every year. Some weird shit. I don't know. I got to get a shaman out here with some sage to burn or something. I don't know.
We had some sage burned out here a while back.
Yeah.
We kind of let it get a little out of hand.
That's because we were outside smoking cigars and drinking whiskey or something.
No, dude. We were in here drunk, and I was on the VR.
Oh, yeah.
I take off the VR, and I'm like, oh, my God, the fucking house is on fire. No, the sage just got a little out of hand.
Yeah, it actually created a fire. Rather than just kind of smudging, it turned into a blaze.
We didn't want to smoke out the we didn't want to smoke out the evil. We wanted to burn that shit out.
Right.
That shit alone should have fixed everything around here. So
Yeah. Got us out of the house for a little bit, and we're pretty evil.
that's when I stepped out for cigars and whiskey. Yeah.
Oh,
I remember it involved that shit. But anyway, Krista, by the way, happy belated birthday to you.
Oh, thanks.
A few
Right
weeks
on.
ago.
Many happy returns.
Yay.
Up to 20. Okay.
Yeah, come on. 32, it's okay.
There you go. All right.
I embrace my age.
32 ain't bad. That's still a running back number.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That is, isn't it?
Yep. All the way up to 44 or something like that?
I think that then you're starting to hit fullback.
Well, yeah, your fullbacks are going to be, 40 to somewhere. Yeah.
40 to 49, I think.
And then you start hitting your linebackers in about the mid to upper 40s. And, yeah.
That's when you really need to start assessing your life is when you hit linebacker age.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you don't want to be an O-line guy.
I want to always be a kicker.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm always a wide receiver.
2019 found me actually like getting some weird semblance of interest in the NFL again. Like, cool. You know what I'm going to do in 2020? I'm going to really get into football this year. Well.
Yeah, you're like, maybe not.
Maybe not.
I think you'll still be afforded the opportunity.
Yeah.
Unless everybody listen to a Fucci.
Is it a, because, yeah, it would appear anything I do and I say, hey, I'm really going to get into this, and suddenly, like, life puts the kibosh
Stay
on.
the fuck away from things I love.
I'm going to abstain all year long.
Don't root for that new Metallica album, man.
I don't want that Deftones record coming out September at all, like I predicted.
Yeah, you already said you wanted it and even put a date on it.
Yeah.
Old Mystic Mac.
Yeah. I've been right a couple of years in a row, though. It'd be one thing if, like, I was wrong occasionally, but no. I called it for Alice in Chains in 2018. I called it for Tool in 2019. I put it out there, Deftones, into September.
Okay.
It'd be
Hopefully
funny if it
sooner.
gets pulled just because, like, there's one guy that just said that it was going to happen.
The drummer from System of a Down said, nope.
We're going to put out an album instead. The album nobody wants. Sorry to all the System of a Down. I'm a System of a Down fan.
Oh,
I like
no.
the System of a Down.
I am too.
But
Well,
they're all bunch of fucking dicks, man.
2 albums?
Fuck no. Let's see. Self-titled,
Oh, God.
Toxicity,
They have
Steal
so
This
many.
album.
Hypnotize, Mesmerize.
I think 5?
And then is there something after that?
No, that was
So
the
I
last
only
2.
really got into the first 2 then.
Well, and the first 2
Yeah.
are their best.
And-
okay.
I like their first 3. I fell off with the last
That's the same
2.
thing like as Seven
Same
Dust
here.
or whatever. It's like somebody starts talking about Seven Dust's 3rd album. It's like, whoa, well.
Animosity is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
That was like 2001, I think.
Self-titled was what, 99?
Oh, man. Self-titled 7 Dust, that was 95,
No,
96.
yeah. Okay.
Because their self-titled, that was their first album.
God, that
And
was
then Home
fucking
came out
mid-nineties.
98, 99.
Wow. Because I thought the 3rd was when they really started trying to show off, like, see, this guy can actually really sing.
Oh, that's one that has that Angel's Son song.
Yeah. Not a fan, but what
It's
do you think?
I dig it. It's a good song, but I think it's just because I was 19 when it came out. Transitional years, my friend.
Yeah.
When you don't have high school to bitch about anymore, now it's just life to bitch about.
I never understood that. People like, man, I'll be so glad when I graduate high school. It's like, why? You're living the life right now.
So I can color my hair green.
This is like the best life is going to get.
No.
Better enjoy.
It was. I hated high school.
Really?
High
Yeah,
school was miserable.
You don't have to pay any rent. You ain't got no bills.
I mean, it was rough being out on my own, but man, I was ready to be gone.
Me too. Yeah, I fucking hate
Yeah.
high school with every
Yeah,
fiber of my being.
I guess I can't talk too much shit. I was in the Marines like 1 month after graduation.
Right, you're like,
so.
see ya.
Yeah.
Best thing high school ever did for me was give me a fairly decent grasp of like C++, and I bought my first bag of weed.
There you go.
That's about it.
How much you want for that stinky weed, old man?
Only wanted a $5 for it. Old Willie fucking sold it to me. Put it right in my tit pocket in the fucking hallway as people were going to class. Fucking Rackler walks right by me. I'm like, hey, buddy. You know, you can hide the smell with your hands. Said no one ever.
Wow.
Ballsy little cunt, this guy.
Somebody by the name of Willie. That's interesting. All right.
Yeah, he wasn't Scottish.
No, I don't. I was hoping
Or
not.
a 40-year-old janitor.
Right.
That would have been a little weird if I was buying weed from a janitor.
Right.
Convenient, but weird.
Certainly would really shed a lot of light on the educational system in this town. All right, Mead update for the week. We got it. A lot of it. Matter of fact, we have exactly 11 gallons underway right now.
Fuck you.
Yeah, Troublemaker, as we pointed out every week, Troublemaker's ready to go. It's just a matter of bottling it. Been kind of holding off because everybody's kind of been closed in and everything else, and it's fine. And also on top of that, they've always, and I don't know, maybe Krista could answer this. They keep telling people like, oh, you can do this, but don't drink. You can do this, don't drink. There's a Benito Brewing Company in Cloudcroft. It was like, yeah, well, we can only serve a maximum of 3 beers. It's like,
The fuck?
it's like, what's this anti-liquor thing going on? Is it because people make bad decisions, or is it because there's actually some legitimate concern about drinking?
So like, I don't know. Even Roosevelt has a 3 beer limit, and I don't know if they follow through with it, but that's what's posted.
I've never known them to follow through.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure I've definitely left there on a couple occasions. Pretty tossed, and it was definitely more than 3 beers. So
I've fucking never been told once. I'm sorry, sir. You have hit your limit.
I haven't
Never been told that in my life.
I have in some bars, but usually it's because I was being an asshole.
You've hit the local limit for the day?
Yeah,
What the fuck is that?
I think that's more a house rule than anything else.
probably.
And
It's more a
supposed-
guideline.
Right.
Now, if you're
Executive order.
you're whipping out them bills and making it rain on the table for tips, I bet they keep them coming.
It's like, here's a $50 beer. I want a
Beer,
See, maybe that 3 beer max is probably all
I
right.
think they were spot on. You should have been cut off
that
a beer
don't-
ago.
don't- man. You tell me no, I can't have. I'll drink double. I'll do it. I've seen me do it.
But I will say this, because if they institute some shit like, okay, you assholes can't drink anymore, and they shut it down, well, we got liquor for days, son.
Yeah, we got history, time, and a whole bunch of honey liquor on our
Not
side.
to mention still some Green Man in there. Holly King, which hadn't even been labeled yet, which I need to get you a bottle.
Got 2. How old's that now?
It is coming up on a year and a half.
I brought cash for that reason.
Oh.
I realize I haven't had meat in a very long time, and it's time to remedy that.
Well, you get a discount because it doesn't have any label on it.
Oh, I don't know that I.
We
care
will
about
draw
that.
the X's on there.
I will draw 3 X's and slap it on there.
I had someone try to. They brought mead they had bought from the store to like share, and it was
Ugh.
terrible.
Oh, yeah. No,
it was god awful. Like I didn't tell them that because that's kind of rude. But I was just like, holy shit!
Store-bought
like,
mead is
yours
horrible.
y'all's is miles and leagues above. I just was like, wow, this is awful.
Yeah, no, a mutual friend of ours. Oh, well, you threatened to fight her. Yeah, you don't remember that? She had brought us.
Now she does.
She had brought us a bottle of Viking's blood, wasn't it? Right?
Yeah.
And and I tried to act excited, and because she was all jazzed about it and everything, and I was drinking it, thinking this tastes like fucking hibiscus leavings.
See, the hibiscus I didn't have an issue with.
It's that cough syrup back end on it.
It's the extreme.
Yeah, I actually would love if you guys did a hibiscus. That would be pretty.
I really dug.
I like
I
the
mean,
floral
Viking's blood was
concept.
my favorite before we started making meat here.
Yeah.
I'd had that before. I really liked it. But now, when I got an idea what the real shit was here, like, oh, so you
Yeah.
don't need all that sugar and
You do
honey
not.
back in to
No.
make a good meat.
No.
I'm down with that.
Nope, like the ancient Nordic peoples. You got to drink it the right way, make it the right way. You got to add in all this other shit, just trying to catch the minivan soccer mom crowd. I don't know what you're
Yeah.
doing.
Exactly.
However, when I lived in Wyoming, the
Boone Ratty, right?
yeah, they sold the Boone Ratty mead at that liquor store across the way. That was kind of cool. That is your like Smirnoff middle of the road mead. Not super
it's not
sweet.
it's not a sweet. Yeah.
No, but
Need a-
also
need
not
a beer?
super. Of course I do. Not super flavorful either. Not good, but not like you're drinking medicine. And I also learned I really appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Really dry, leave your mouth quickly mead.
No,
Which is
that's
what Troublemaker is.
That's the trick. Is because what's that other one? What's another one? Is blood. Dragon's blood. That shit coats your tongue like you're drinking milk and magnesia and will not go away.
Ooh, gnarly.
Dragon's blood.
Yeah. Seemed to be on the bit on the creamy side, and it kind of stuck around. Really uber sweet. It just.
Are you talking about the Vikings blood mead?
No, it's Dragon's blood.
Dragon's blood.
But the same company puts out Vikings blood. I
Oh yeah. When we had a gaming sesh.
believe. Yeah.
Now I recall. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
that was super fucking sweet.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't mind Redstone, brewery or meadery up in Boulder. They're okay. But man, they do run a little sweet on their stuff. A lot of their stuff is it's like you don't have to. What's with all the sugar? I don't get it.
Right.
Let me let the dog out.
Go let that boy out. Yeah, I've never really grasped why booze needs to be so sweet.
I guess because
What?
ladies like it sweet. I
yeah.
don't know. I guess that's what it's always been.
When I was 19, I gave a friend of mine that was over 21 a shopping list for booze. And on that list was butterscotch, root beer, strawberry, and a vanilla and a peppermint schnapps. These were all schnapps.
Ugh.
Because I was like, well, real liquor is disgusting. It tastes horrible. I've had wild turkey, but I hated it because I took a shot and had to sneeze at the same time. And ended up busting every capillary in my nose.
Yeah, I'm shocked you didn't fucking have a prolapse.
I passed out due to the blood loss.
I imagine.
If you ever want to watch that video, I'll bring it over.
Jeez.
Most regrettable beverage you've ever had? I can start. I'd go Canadian Hunter. It was cheap. I got, I don't want to identify exactly which, but I had a sibling go and buy me a bottle of it. And I didn't, I was just saving lunch money for a few days.
Canadian Hunter wasn't expensive.
No. Foisted off, I don't know, $7-8 on him. Got me a fifth of Canadian Hunter. And I proceeded to drink the whole thing, basically. Split it. I started off splitting it with my nephew. And we got about a quarter of the way through the bottle. After that, it was all me. And
Damn.
I cannot even smell that shit to this day without wanting to dry heave.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I got Parrot Bay.
Okay. I was waiting for you to come up with
Parrot Bay.
that or Malibu or something. Yeah.
It was going to be that or Wild Turkey 101. It's going to be either one of those. But Parrot Bay is far more disgusting because my friends had and this was back when I couldn't drink legally because I was 19.
Oh, no, I'm pretty sure our answers are all going to be underage.
Oh, absolutely, because this is when we get all the bad shit. We don't know any better. If we only had siblings, we'd be like, you don't want that shit. Of course, my older siblings like, oh, you don't want that. You know what you want? You want, like, fucking Barnaby Williams fucking wine coolers. That's what you want. You want Boone's Farm strawberry, motherfucker.
I was going to say Boone.
I'm like, I gave you a tenner and I get a $1 bottle of wine back?
Well, I'm not going to rat out this sibling, but I know he did tell his girlfriend, Joyce, he's like, this ought to be funny.
See, just being a dick. Just being a dick. This was a bottle of Parrot Bay that had been in a counter, a jug of it, a handle of it, for like a year. So for
I didn't even know they made handles of that shit.
many seasons, it had just wafted up there. Unopened, but still disgusting. By the time we had gotten it, because we were all broke and wanted to get drunk, it was thick. And this was back when they did the flavors, like the mango. This is mango. And I drank about half of that motherfucker. And the last thing I recall is trying to put my fist and head through the mailbox. Not like because I thought I was reaching a portal. I tried to like physically make a hole in it.
So how much would you require in monetary compensance to drink Parrot Bay now?
Depends on how much I'm required to drink.
Say fucking like at least 5 drinks.
Man, I got all salivy in my mouth.
His color even changed color.
Oh,
It would have to be a lot, man. Yeah. Oh my god. At least a new Nintendo Switch.
Holy shit.
Oh, wow.
And a $5 gift card to Hot Topic.
All right, Krista, so what's the one you cannot, or have you even had the experience of being an underage drinker and consuming way too much?
Oh, absolutely. I guess for me it was a gin night. Now, I enjoy gin now, but I have to be really careful.
You were a teenager drinking gin?
Uh-huh.
God damn, you're a hero.
A girlfriend of mine and I stole it from her parents' cabinet and drank it. And then my mom knew I had snuck out, by the way. And so my mom knew that I had, left to go over to my friend's house and had a bad feeling and made me go. She had to take my sister to a doctor's appointment. And I sure as hell upchucked in that parking lot. And I had salad the night before, so it was it was a great time. It was really great.
What kind of salad was it?
I don't know, like a leafy spinachy with all of the toppings and.
At least one like a Cobb salad.
It came out looked just like the Caesar salad I had hours before.
I really need to chew my food.
So are you able to drink gin now?
I can, yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I just have to be mindful that I don't go crazy with it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's time for us to get on to the metal portion of the podcast.
Yeah, we're nearly at 40 minutes, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. We'll go and check in with LJ to see what's going down with Lowdown on this week's metal segment.
Get it done?
Welcome back to the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast. Did you guys miss me? Oh, I missed you. I know you missed me. So, I'm here to give you your dose of metal for the week. Hopefully it's something you guys like. And if not, well, we'll try again next week. So, starting off our list, Atavist. The album is called 3, as in I. Absolution. The guys at the meat hall might like this, so Kevin or Brandon, correct me if I'm wrong. Describing themselves as a death/doom band from the UK, this is what I presume to be their third release because of the 3 Roman numeral I's. It's slow and extremely heavy. The guitar alone makes my molars hurt, and they haven't even come out yet. That's my wisdom teeth I'm talking about. Next, we've got Cro-Mags. The album is called In the Beginning. It's our friends from when I first started this gig doing the metal podcast. Cro-Mags are back with a solid and very sick new album that is so crisp and so groovy, I think it'll give it a listen. Clocking in at a paltry 38 minutes and change, these guys crammed 13 songs into that time frame, and for a thrash metal album, it's really heavy, so check it out. I could probably do without the singer, but honestly, I couldn't do a better job if I tried. He sounds like James Hetfield if he dropped the pitch of his voice one full step. Next, Jessica Wolff, Wolff. The album is called Paradise, Para space D-I-C-E. I actually dig this band. Never heard of them, but it's regular metal with a regular female singer. Sounds like I'm underselling it, but I wouldn't mind jamming this whole album in one sitting or even seeing them in concert. It's bearable and not boring or repetitive. It's like a metal band just contacted some female pop singer and was like, "Want to sing on our shit?" And she was like, "Sure," or some shit, I don't know, whatever. It's good. It's good. Next up, we've got Lamb of God with their album Lamb of God. In my top 10 favorite bands list, which is topped by the likes of Metallica, Iron Maiden, and Judas Priest in the top 3, these guys are probably number 11 in the list, but I fucking love Lamb of God. It's hard to fit 10 bands on a top 10 when you have like 15 favorites. Anyway, this album brings fans what they're used to. You have no idea how happy I was to see Lamb of God on this list. What a nice treat from all the bullshit black metal bands I gotta sift through. Thanks, guys. Next, we have Rise of the North Star. The album is called Live in Paris EP. Now, I listen to these songs without headphones on, and so they play at a fairly loud volume in the garage. My cats heard the band and transformed into lions, so I had to relocate to the bathroom before I shit myself. They apparently have a live album out from a show in Paris, so check it out. Next, we have the band Trapped. T-R-A-P-T. You probably heard of them before, right? Back off, I take you up. No? Okay. The album is called Shadow Work. Funny story time. So, like, in 2011 or whatever, me and my ex went to Albuquerque with my nephew Chris and my friend Leroy to see Trapped, which is one of Leroy's favorite bands. So, this thrash metal band opens for Trapped, and we didn't know that would happen, and we were in the pit by the stage. So people start moshing and shit, and I'm like, oh shit, my girl's gonna get clobbered if we don't get the fuck back. Because back then, I was much more of a bitch before I grew my pair of nuts that I bear today. And, you know, I get in pits now. Back then, I didn't. So anyways, I turn my back away from the stage, and I tell my chick to go back, you know, toward the back of the room. But just as I turn, someone gets pushed and falls on one of my legs, pinning it and making me fall toward her, and I headbutted my chick right in the mouth. It cut her right upper canine diagonally in half, exposing the root, and I had to drug her up on, like, pain pills to continue the show from the back of the room. Then I had to call her mom and explain to her that I just headbutted the shit out of her daughter and knocked her tooth out. On the bright side, that's probably the most metal thing that's ever happened to her. What was I? Alright, Trapped. It's okay, they're still pussies. Next. Finally, we have Iron Maiden Live Collection Remastered. Iron Maiden's Live Collection is a compilation of all their live shit remastered. Duh. What's in it, you ask? Well, it's a remaster of Live After Death, which is with a live album they released back in the 80s after the Power Slave Tour, from the Power Slave Tour. And it contains a little statue of Eddie, and also contains a patch. And the collection also has 2002's Rock in Rio, which in my opinion is arguably one of their best shows, pre-Legacy of the Beast, post-Maiden England. So check it out. That's all we've got for this week. Thank you for tuning in, guys. I appreciate you hanging in there with us during these trying times. So that's all I've got for you. Stay tuned for the next podcast. I'm not sure when it is, but I'll get it from the guys. Take it away, Kevin and Brandon. See ya.
I still can't bring the energy that guy's got. All right. Thanks to LJ for that. By the way,
He had a week off too, man.
And by the way, LJ, just to let you know, we are doing a show next week because we don't want to do one on the 4th of July. And also it sets it up for us to be able to then skip the 4th and then do one on the 11th for UFC 251.
That dude ran a contest on Facebook the other day.
No shit.
Yeah.
I try to avoid Facebook like with a passion.
So do I. I really only check it out in the morning when I get off work. And I was just looking around. And he had like a question. It was about a song he'd written about Dracula. And he was going to write another song about like a serial
About
killer.
the werewolf. Oh, no.
No, oh no. If he was doing like Universal Monster metal, that'd be pretty dope. I would listen to that shit. But he was just basically asking people to guess a serial killer from the 16th century. And the only one I could think of, I thought it was going to go through the same vein. What would you think if you heard Dracula and 16th century serial killer?
16th century. Okay, so I was going to go Jack the Ripper, but no, that's too,
Nope.
it's
Age,
too early.
really.
Serial killer 1500s. Who the fuck would that be? Wow.
I know. I was actually, I was pretty proud of myself for getting it right.
Hint for country.
Transylvania.
Oh, okay. So fucking Vlad the Impaler.
No, that was what.
Oh, wait, that was even earlier.
That was the first one.
Yeah, that was early. That
This
was like
isn't-
12 or 1300s. I don't. She's
Same
the
era.
woman.
Lady Bathory.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Bathory.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. I was like the woman who bathed in virgin's blood.
Yeah.
And that turned out to be
but
a
don't
lie.
we all really at some point?
I mean, technically, yeah, that's actually a very valid point,
We should
sir.
just end the podcast right now, man. I have to be completely honest. I had a 500 milligram cookie before I came out here,
Oh, wow.
Shit.
and you just blew my mind.
There we go. Yeah. My work here is done.
Yeah. I mean, in a really dark way, you blew my mind.
Oh,
That's
I
why it's
enjoyed
like,
that. That was fucking perfect.
yeah.
I have my moments.
We need to write a song. That needs to be a song lyric we come
Yeah.
up with.
Work that in, LJ. Work that in.
Bathing in the virgin's blood.
As we do.
But don't we all at least once?
Shit. All right. Anything on Lamb of God? Because they had their new release, clearly. But,
I feel like I've already heard it.
okay.
I mean,
That's
the
it's
singles.
Not, it's not my jam. I mean, that's just.
That Memento Mori song's pretty dope.
Yeah.
That Gear song's pretty dope. But it's a Lamb of God album. New drummer.
You turned me on to Spirit Adrift's EP today.
Yeah, for Juneteenth, Bandcamp is donating all their sales for the day to the NAACP Defense Fund.
Right.
And Spirit Adrift put out an EP for $3, 3 songs, and one of them is the Angels in a Biscuit acoustic version, which is really good. I can't remember these. There's 2 covers. Can't remember the name of the first one, but the second one is Wind Cries Mary,
Right.
and that's probably the best thing I've heard all week.
Man, if you're a Hendrix cat, whew, they do it justice. I dig.
Yeah, it's just the lead guy doing it. It's just him and his guitar.
Right. Let's go ahead and move on to MMA because I feel metal's probably thanks to
That's
thanks
what-
to LJ kind of always hitting the high points for us. Yeah.
And you've already fucked up my brain, so
There we go.
I'm phoning it in from here. I'm busy thinking about Virgin's Blood.
Good man. Good man.
So,
Did everybody make weight today? Because I know it's a big event coming up tomorrow. It's that Curtis Blaydes card.
let's see. No, we all made weight, but we did have another fighter's corner get popped for COVID.
Oh, which one's that?
Matt Frivola. Ah, shit. That was actually a name I knew.
Crazy Joe Davola?
This is crazy Matt Frivola. His cornerman and teammate Billy Quarantillo, which is kind of a funny name to have. You're going into quarantine. It was a positive test, but 2 more came out negative. But regardless, they still pulled him. But outside of that, everybody made weight. The preliminary card looks really good. Headlined by my boy Clay Guida, who will always have a job just because he's insane.
Yeah, the that's the one thing I was looking at. And those fights start a little early, too. Main card is at 6.
No shib.
Yeah.
God damn
So
it.
that means
They
we're
need
gonna-
to pick a fucking time and stick with it.
Which means then that we've got to catch, we're going to have to catch about 5:30, 5:40, something like that, of the prelims in order to be able to catch that shit. Because
Son of
that's
a
the only thing, and it's
bitch.
actually a reasonably good card.
Yeah, it's like compared on paper to last week's.
Man, there's no comparison.
Yeah, the co-main event, the Josh Emmett Shane Burgos fight. Holy fuck, that's going to be That's going to be your fucking fight of the night right there.
Maybe. I mean, I do want to see how Curtis Blaydes goes into this one. Man, if that guy looks like he's just sleeping people the way he has been here lately, the heavyweight division is going to be better because of it.
I thought that Walt Harris was going to be right up there with him doing it too.
Yeah. Well, he had that setback
But-
a few weeks ago. But
The only setback Curtis Blaydes had is Ngannou TKO'd him in a minute when they had that card in China.
right.
After that, man, that's it. That is the only thing. He's lost Ngannou twice.
Yeah.
He just don't need to fight Ngannou. That's it.
Just avoid that guy.
Avoid that guy. It's easy. He's real easy to avoid, apparently.
Krista, you usually hang out, watch some fights with us back in the day.
Sometimes I don't know very much, so I just, like watching muscly, sweaty men rub up against each other.
Yeah, see,
so
Brandon's the
works
same way.
for me.
Yeah. But I can go to town and see that.
I go to a certain nightclubs. And,
That's right. It's called the parking lot of the Walmart at 4 a.m.
Now, here's one thing. It's a COVID-related question. So they've got these guys. They're going to come out. They're going to be crawling all over each other and pound the shit out of each other, sharing blood probably. But, yeah, they come out for the weigh-ins and the pose down, and they're always wearing masks. I don't understand that, I suppose.
Because it's a fucking illusion of safety.
Exactly. No, I agree with you. I really do. Because these guys are in close quarters and contact anyway,
Yeah.
so they're obviously going to be swap and spit.
And at the weigh-ins today, half of them weren't wearing fucking masks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or they would take them off when they were getting their picture took.
Right. And that it makes no sense.
I just don't. I don't think it matters. There's a fucking plexiglass everything in front of us and them now.
Right.
Whenever we're transacting any kind of business in town, it's the illusion of safety.
Absolutely.
All right, no, that's kind of confirmed my suspicion.
And you know what makes it even more disgusting is if you go to a place now and you look at that fucking screen and it looks all gross.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
went- when I went
it's-
Strides today to pick up
Right.
beer, I was looking at it, I was like,
Yeah, they
Ew,
have
my
obviously
God!
not disinfected it. Yeah, I don't. It's problematic. Things like the masks only work if people use them, and obviously the cloth masks don't do a whole lot anyway.
No, it looks like you're getting ready to rob a bank. but-
Right. I mean, it helps.
Unless you want to be a 90s gangster.
It helps. Well, I mean, I have been kind of enjoying it. Not gonna lie, rocking my Harry Potter bandana at Walmart works for me.
I was trying to wear a
so.
mask. My problem is I have what's called a beard, and
Yes.
it's it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
No, it
I mean,
really
if it was a little shorter, I might be able to make it work. But of
Yeah.
course, then it'd look like a woman from the 70s wearing a bikini.
yeah, you'd look like a guy playing football trying to fit that beard in a helmet.
It's
Ain't
too
gonna
long.
work.
And I was going to cut it off. That's the beard update, by the way, for the week. Is the since LJ is very focused on the facial hair.
You didn't mention once about mine being gone, man.
Yeah. The no,
Hurt my feelings.
apparently covering up my face is the right move. The
It's more a sign of your beauty rather than the beauty of your beard.
I did not want to have a miserable summer, so I was like, nope. Come about May, I'm cutting this bitch off. Well, until I found out Halloween's on a Saturday. I'm going to put myself through so much bullshit over the summer just to look good for Halloween.
That's awesome.
Hey, man.
Well, that is a commitment.
that is a sacrifice worth making.
But I don't know. Let's go get the card rundown. I don't want to run us out of time.
Oh, shit. I already closed the browser.
Oh, shit. Oh, we were getting ready to. It's time to party.
It felt like we were wrapping up. I'm sorry. I'm high.
No. It's and we got about 10 minutes or so. So let me go ahead and do the honors this week, good sir.
You know what? You go ahead and do it. I'm taking that.
You know what? Prelims. I'm not overly huge on a lot of these necessarily.
Guida main event.
That one is.
Me and Bobby Green.
Let me back it up slightly, and we have Tisha Torres fighting Brianna Van Buren at strawweight. Man, Van Buren's only had 2 losses. Tisha Torres seems like she gets popped right smack down the middle all the time. I've never.
She's blonde now, so she might fight different.
Maybe. Okay, so you got Clay Guida fighting Bobby Green for the main event for the prelims.
I'll pick Clay Guida till he retires.
Sure.
That guy's just too much fun to watch.
Bobby Green's fun too. I mean,
Bobby Green's fun.
That
Me and Bobby
legit
Green
might
is
be
fun.
a really, really good fight there. All right, let's head on to the main card. Jim Miller fighting Roosevelt Roberts, who's only had 1 loss.
And a quick turnaround for Roosevelt Roberts as well.
Like, didn't we just talk
Guy
about it like a month ago?
A couple weeks
3 weeks.
ago.
3 weeks.
And a winning effort. And that's the thing. Dana's really asking a lot of these fighters that kind of get out of their fights relatively unscathed. Like, hey, if you're ready to go in like 3 or 4 weeks, might have use for you again.
Yeah.
And a lot of these fighters that are wanting to fight their contracts out, get a little name recognition going. This is time to do it when
Yeah.
UFC needs you to do it.
Oddly making more money than, I don't know, Jorge Masvidal.
Well, you don't make any money on the sidelines.
Let's see, Bilal Muhammad and Lyman Good.
That could be your probably the second best fight on the fucking
I
card.
think Bilal Muhammad never.
I would even I would rank the Blaydes the main event. That's going to be your. If I had to rank them just by how stoked I am, co-main event number 1, that fight number 2, and fucking main event number 3.
Okay. Raquel Pennington fighting Marion Renault, women's bantamweight.
I'm curious to see which Raquel Pennington we shall receive.
I know that 10-8 record is really, truly, it defines who she is.
Yeah.
It's like, she might win, maybe not. Josh Emmett, Shane Burgos, so you'd already weighed in on that one.
I'm going for Emmett on that.
You got a
Emmett be a
15-2
late round finish.
A 15-2 record against a 13-1 record. Somebody is going to look real good after this fight.
Yep.
All right, and then Curtis Blaydes against Alexander Volkov for heavyweight. I do want to see. I want to see Blaydes. I really want to see what kind of game he brings. Because I think it's going to be
as long as he does the same thing that Derek Lewis did to Volkov. Volkov looked gnarly in that first and about halfway through that second round, but as the fight came to an end, put the pressure on, caught him in the jaw. Derek Lewis won a fight he was probably losing on the scorecards.
Well, yeah, keep that tank. That's what you got to
Curtis
do.
Blaydes late, and it's going to be bloody. You don't have the nickname of Blaydes and not earn it by making someone look really
Right.
gross.
Fair enough. All right, well, let's go ahead and get on to the picks so we don't run ourselves out of time here. What you drinking today, sir?
Do you believe we'll have me a little bullet on ice?
Did
that
that
was
yesterday.
fucking delicious yesterday.
We hadn't put away any bullet for a while, so we decided to kill about a half a bottle yesterday just for fun. You know.
Watch a little
Are
altered
y'all
carbon.
bourbon drinkers, rye drinkers?
Rye.
Rye.
Yeah.
The rye
Oh,
is the shit.
be rye.
What are you drinking today, Krista?
I might have to have some of the rye also.
Good for you. All right.
Smart moves by everybody today.
We'll stay on the old Budweiser path myself, maybe with the option of Riley. What you listening to for the week?
I'm going to go ifing.
Oh, wow.
I like to break them out at least once a month.
Yeah. Is that against the Weld? Is that right?
Yeah, against this Wield. Or
Yeah.
W-E-A. I think it's Wield.
I think it's pronounced Weld.
Is it Weld?
I think so.
I would trust you over me
I don't
on
know. I'd have to research that out, actually.
W-E-A-L-D.
It might be Wield. And it's Old English, but or at least
they're-
derivative, anyway.
I'll figure it out while y'all make
I'm not
picks.
that much of a cunning linguist, so.
But I'm bumped.
Anything's got your fancy lately, lady?
Music wise, no. I'm listening to an audiobook though. I don't know if that
Hey,
counts.
that's right. What you listen to? I love me audiobooks.
Yeah, I do too.
I have to be read to every night so I can go to sleep.
It's kind of nice, actually. It does
Yeah.
feel that way, doesn't it?
And I listen to it enough times where I actually I know everything about this book. I could read it to you from memory. What are you listening to?
Oh,
What book is it? Yeah.
It's called The Jet Setters.
Sounds fancy.
It's
Hey.
cute.
There you go.
It's very lighthearted and funny.
It's Wield.
Oh, good. All right.
Learned it.
Learn something new all the time. I'm going to go ahead and, man, as soon as a band, calls it quits, then I just can't seem to stop listening to them. So I'm kind of on a Sub Rosa kick lately. So,
Don't know what you got till it's gone.
yeah, exactly. Let's see. And then as far as fights go tomorrow, or fights.
Roxanne Modafferi, the gal that always comes away in Super Saiyan out, looking like Goku or Frieza or something. I think she's going to have a big day tomorrow.
Okay.
She was your initial flyweight. She was in the final for the Ultimate Fighter flyweight title against that Nico Montano.
Okay.
Well, that's one fight I wish she had won.
Yeah,
Nico
exactly.
Montano won that belt. It's like, I don't want it.
No, yeah, exactly.
Who do I have to fight? Oh, Valentina Shevchenko. Oh, no. You take this back. I have a cold. I don't
I'm
wanna fight.
good. All right. I got so which one's going to be just a weird, crazy 20-second finish? I'm going to go with the heavyweight card. I'll go Curtis Blaydes leveling the playing field. Yeah.
Wow. Damn.
About 20, 25 seconds in.
That's a bold statement.
It is. And I can be wrong. I usually am. If it involves MMA, I'm usually wrong.
You are bold.
Music. It's
But are you
crazy.
daring?
I'm usually right on. All right. That's going to be it for us this week. We'll be right back at it again next week, so that way we can take the July 4th off. Krista, it's been awesome having you on for the
Thank you for
Fi-
having me.
Right on, Ratchets.
Yay!
After begging her to be on for like 3 years now. There we go.
It took a fucking pandemic.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Sometimes good things come out of horrifying things.
Sometimes. Yeah. All right, hey, let's see old saying around here go.
Let's go get drunk.
There it is. All right.
Grr.
Spirited Drift, check it out.